All right. Philadelphia, PA. Philadelphia, PA. Philadelphia, PA. This time with a little more energy. I got some B-roll of this very topic, so I don't know if that will be posted. But it's better now because I got some coffee in me. I've got some food in me. My thoughts aren't so much on booties. It's a plus. Nope, I'm talking about Philadelphia, the biggest tattoo convention in the world. Place where I get the fortune, the favor, and the fortitude. I don't know. I'm just thinking of F words really, but I get to go here. I've been going here for about 15 years. It's one of the largest tattoo conventions. It's the largest tattoo convention in the world. I'm not wrong in saying that, right? It is like I went to a place. Excuse me. Candy might be able to edit that out. She said she might be. So I went to a place a long time ago called the world's biggest tattoo show. Something. It wasn't. It was not. It was big, but Philadelphia is bigger. Maybe I have a bad impression of that time we went out. I think they changed between venues or something. But the biggest in the world. Should I just start this over instead of... I'm not running somebody through the mud, right? I'm just saying the truth of the matter is Philly's fucking huge. That's what it is. See, a long time ago, there was a guy named Philadelphia Eddie. And you should buy his podcast. I just found out that they're available. Like, you should look for Philadelphia Eddie's podcasts. They... pure gold. I read the books and of the audio, and it just makes me want to hear him say the same stories. But if it wasn't for this man, like crazy actually thought came to me as I'm talking to David Spengler, as his grandson, who is a tattoo artist as well, and we're talking, and it occurs to me that if Philadelphia Eddie had never changed his mind about robbing the tattoo artist on the boardwalk, then Philadelphia we wouldn't possibly be at that hotel. We wouldn't know each other. Like, there would be so many things. I mean, it's probable that Philadelphia, being a big city, would have a tattoo convention that would spring up of somebody else, but it didn't. You know, like, it didn't. It was because of Philadelphia's Eddie's decision on the boardwalk not to rob a tattoo artist, but instead to learn how to tattoo, because that tattoo artist made some money. And some awesome stories about so instead of robbing him, he asked the guy to teach him. I may be messing this story up. Buy the Philadelphia Eddie's podcasts. But he decided to instead rob a grocery store for the money to get the guy to teach him, and to sell him a tattoo machine and to teach him how to tattoo. And that guy pretty much was like, you do it like this for a day or something like that. And then he left and took off somewhere else or something. Anyways, Philadelphia is now a mecca of tattoo artists. And anytime so many tattoo artists come to a spot and we change the demographic, that city gets remarkably cooler. People will remark about how much cooler it is. For a week or so to come even, and you'll see evidence of tattoo artists there with stickers on all the signs, and they're different detritus. I don't know. Anyways, you can see it, you can feel it. It's awesome, and I love it. This weekend, I got tattooed by my friend Jay, otherwise known as Penguin Boy, who is a sideshow performer and suffers from a handicap called, suffers may be the wrong word, but he is handicapped. He has TARS syndrome. That's where your hands come out. We call him Penguin Boy for that reason. You're probably familiar with it a bit. Don't be a dick to him. He'll headbutt you. right in the dick. That's the level he comes up to. You don't want him mad at you. He'll wait for a perfect moment and then flying headbutt that shit. But he's had struggles, obviously, from that his whole life that are different and unique and give him a different, unique perspective. And I do really, really appreciate that. About one of the bigger blessings of my life is being in contact and close and conversations and just proximity to so many people with such a varied outlook. I really like sideshow performers because they're fucking weird and their life isn't the norm, and that's interesting to me, and I like that to be around me. I don't want my life to necessarily be the norm because I want to be interested. I'm not here for a short time. I'm here for a long, awesome ride. Like roller coaster, bring it on. A few less downs than ups or something, maybe. I don't know, actually. I mean, the descent is sometimes wicked fun. Like, if you really think about the roller coaster, we think about the depressing times as being the down times. But you remember getting there? The depressing time is really the up, ain't it? To be completely honest. Like, and the whole reason you go up is to come back down. We got this weird hustle mentality in the world. Like, we got to eat everything in front of us, I don't know. Up, down. I'm just trying to say it's the up that sucks. Slow. It's taking all your momentum. Remember how fast we were going? That was super cool. Wind was in my hair. You going up, and somebody like throws their cotton candy, lands in your face. And you're stuck there with it, like, oh, this sucks. Then when you go down with the cotton candy, I'm getting way off topic, actually. Never mind the cotton candy. More important that we were at Philly. We got tattooed by my friend, Penguin Boy. He put a Penguin Boy skull on me. I think there was a moment, I change when I get tattooed. It's all fun and games, until you start getting tattooed. It hurts. And then also, I didn't know how I've never watched him tattoo before. I had no idea how this was going to go. And I was in awe. And it was something that I should have got in closer with so that we could have talked about it. I think I saw him go through a moment of swamp ass, and I didn't know you don't know how to make it better. As a tattoo artist, you get something called swamp ass every once in a while. For instance, tattoo artists will know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even need to explain it to you. But there is some moment maybe where you recognize you've made a mistake in a tattoo. Yep. You got to reveal it or figure out how to cover it up or figure what you're going to do. Are you going to try and dance around the mistake in front of the person who's watching you intently, right? And have an obvious problem with it? Or are you going to address it and work together with him? Or are you guys going to just act like there isn't an L in Ashley, Try and finish up and no. At any rate, that's called swamp ass, that moment. And I'm sure everybody gets it throughout their life, but I think Jay went through a moment of swamp ass at one point because I don't know if you met me, but I'm super fucking cool. And people like me, I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't tell them to. But we're all in the hotel room. And yes, hotel tats, party tats still happen. Probably shouldn't. But it's to get his glove on, he had to kind of maneuver. He doesn't have elbows. He's got the cutest little hands that flip up like penguin flippers. And he can flip them around like a little penguin. And he can do crazy shit with a different level of dexterity than you or I have, but he has no even bridge hand to tattoo with. Because he can't really bridge. Someone else has to stretch the skin. He can't gauge depth as easily. So this is more like he's airbrushing almost. And he also sits on the ground to do it. So we picked a low spot on my leg, and he actually picked it. Maybe he was being a dick on purpose. but he put it right over top of my ankle bone. That fucker hurt. The lines hurt. And then he started shading it in. He got some nice whip shading in, and I think he wanted to keep trying to get the whip shading down, and he started to turn it into a piece of tribal. And that's why I say I should have been doing the stretching myself so that we could have been in it together. I could have been like, whoa, come on now, motherfucker. Because he needed that moment, I think, where I was able to be like, I don't give a fuck how this tattoo turns out. We're in a hotel room, you know? And it could have eased him instead of trying to pull this piece. I did tell him eventually, I was like, man, I don't think you go any darker on that. You're going to make that a piece of tribal. And he said, you know what, we're done. So he finished right then. So I think I was out into the right area of it. The kid can tattoo. And shouldn't be able to. So fuck all you people who fucking wake up with so many struggles and fucking can't get through your day to day, but you still got 2 legs that work, 2 hands that fucking reach out and touch shit. And I don't know, not fuck you guys, but you know, I shouldn't say that because I love you. And I also tried to watch that show, Inventing Anna. You guys see that? Everybody's talking about Inventing Anna, that girl from the Ozarks. I guess she does a really good job as actress and like actoring like this person or whatever. I know nothing about it because when I started to watch it, she insulted me right away. I was like, you know what? But fuck you, bitch. She said something like, this story or whatever that you're gonna sit your fat ass down on that couch and watch every bit of it. I was like, huh. So are you a liar, I wonder, too? And turned it off. All right, I almost got the mute button for that one. I need to develop like a 3-second mute button. When I cough. Apologize for coughing. What was I talking about? Philadelphia, because it was awesome. The bums in Philly, there is a game in Philadelphia. I don't know how awesome. Philadelphia's awesome. It's also, there's weird street games like human or animal. You know? Weird dead stuff on the streets sometimes. The most decimated rat I've ever seen. 2 birds. 2 of them. Why 2? How was that? 2 sparrows. Wasn't that weird? Candy's laughing too. She actually spotted them. Just 2 dead-ass sparrows. Like, I don't know, maybe they was flying together, hit a window, and just like, you know, like Romeo and Julieted it. Or maybe they're just like, fuck the city life. I'm going. We'll make a pact. If you're not here, what is life without you? But besides the scat, one scat, definitely human, you could tell. I think sometimes the bums know you might be playing, and they're trying to help you. And so they'll shoot from an elevation. There was like an explosive, like someone walked up, like no bend over even, just like, it was like up to my belly button. How high was that scat? The bum scat. Oh, bum scat in Philly. Anyways, I need to get that out of my head. You probably do too. Let's have a second and think about something more pure. Mother Mary or something. I don't know. I have nothing because I'm still stuck on. And honestly, how cool the words like bum scat are. I mean, we're putting some crazy shit on t-shirts nowadays. That eat ass one, really, that's just, that one makes me pause a lot, even now. It's like, we're advertising this. That used to be something that you would derogatorily say to say, eat my ass. Now someone's like, ooh, don't mind if I do. You noticed my t-shirt, I brought my bib. I know too much. Are you familiar with a hot Carl? Or a Cleveland steamer? Hot Carl is the better version of the Cleveland Steamer, I guess. I don't know. When you know these things, you don't want to, and then but sometimes you have a brain like mine that travels across the country with nothing else. But always, my wife doesn't trust me to drive. Listen, I'm a better driver than my wife. I've saved our lives. She stands there in defiance, and right now she's like got this downturned frown, like ready to sneer. Then I'm going to turn into a smile because she knows how many times I've been whoa. She's gonna just take us right off. But here's the thing, I'm a better driver, but I also speed and sometimes road rage. A long time ago, road rage. I mean, if you're an exceptional dick, you can bring it out in me. But you got to really work at it now. I'm so much better about it now that I've discovered the Buddhas. It's helped me in so many ways. Honestly, if you're ever in road rage, like what I do like to think about is just being like, I'm going to get there. Okay, whatever. Go ahead with yourself. There's a lot of people that are angrier about a lot of other shit. Trust me, if they're engaged in some road rage, it isn't because they think you're going too slow or that you stayed in front of them too long or you're like you're using your blinker before you get over. Like I do that. I use my blinker before I get over. You're on my ass. Sometimes that pisses people off. It doesn't really piss them off, but they seem like, oh, what if you're gonna wait? Like I know you're gonna know. Like I don't know. It's reflex oral now. I like to use my blinkers. It's just being a part of traffic. I think it's good. You should all like when you drive, be traffic. Don't be gridlock. Be traffic. Help this thing move. We all get there together. Learn the zipper. If you're not familiar with the zipper, I don't know. Write fucking James Vaughn about it. James Vaughn's one of those non-zippering motherfuckers that is the police line. The line of policers. The self-dedicated, you're not a bigger asshole than me. That's all it is. I mean, when you really think about it, when people are merging from, from 2 lanes to 1, 3 lanes to 2, whatever, when they're merging down, and the sign says, hey, get the fuck over. Everybody has a moment where we just start to think, well, how much of an asshole am I? Some people are just, I'm willing to be this much of an asshole, and they just keep driving, right? They just keep driving. Some people are right away like, well, I'm not an asshole, so they form a line. That's actually, I mean, if you just think about logistics, that's not the right thing to do. Like, if that's the way that your factory were working and you're producing bottles of Coca-Cola, your factory would not be competitive against other factories that have more efficient ways of not bottlenecking the process. Like, you don't jump over right away. You continue to drive at a normal speed. That's what you're supposed to do. And then you let motherfuckers in. And you get in. And you keep moving at that normal speed. If you keep trying to move at that normal speed, it will be posted too, by the way. It's going to be like 45. For some reason, though, it slows down to 10. Nobody's doing this shit right. And then James, he's dedicated to it. James Vaughn, he lets me know. He's like, he gets right. He gets to a point, and then if you try and pass him, he gets out. He gets out in front of you, and he'll block you off, right? Now, interesting, if you drive as much as we do, though, notice that happens as we see the opposite lane. As we see that occurring. We see people that are fucking up the bottleneck of all of this, causing the person who decided that they weren't an asshole and then they get over right away, that actually causes them to sit through that thing almost like 4 to 5 times longer. It just slows the whole, I don't know. God bless it. It's one of those, what do you do? Sometimes you drive right up there. I do. I'll drive right up there. And I'll wait for my moment and I'll get in. And I will be in front of many people. And there will be a lot of people angry about it. But I've decided that that's how much of an asshole I am. Because everybody has decided how much of an asshole they are. You get to a point and you pull over, and then someone like James is like, no one's a bigger asshole than me, so but he had to be an asshole even to get to that spot. The people that maybe have the right to do that are the people that get over immediately. You know what I mean? But traffic, yeah, I mean, if you think about it like bottles, it just, God bless it. Even if we drove right up to one spot where 2 lanes of traffic came to an almost dead stop, where the opposite lane, then every other car let one through, we would all get through that 25% faster. That's some of that bullshit science that I make up, though. But I feel it as fervently as anybody else feels any of their belief in science, so I feel that it must be valid. I mean, nowadays, don't we question all science? We kind of have to. If we're questioning the science around the COVID and the numbers, don't we also have to question the science around texting and driving? You know, there are a lot of people texting and driving. I dare say probably 1,000% more than they put into the whole ratio. And so the texters and drivers ratio to how many accidents they actually have is not true representative. I mean, sure, it's a high number of accidents caused by texting, but it's nowhere near the amount of people that are actually texting and driving. So I believe and know that it can be done safely. So I guess what I'm saying is go ahead, text and drive. Send your Uber. You know what you're doing. You're safe. The last thing we want to do is trust these datisticians and statisticians who are just out propagandizing the don't text and drive fucking agenda. Yeah, you know, look at, they're making money, ain't they, huh? Who pays them? The government. Who do we trust? The government? No. We ain't trusting no government. We ain't trusting no fucking... I'm just saying, it's best to text and drive. I might be wrong about that one. But again, you know, science. If science was so smart, then why did I kick its ass in 8th grade? Yeah, not a single one of them science fair nerds, chess team wannabes, them audio video squads could fucking take a punch to the face. Now how smart is that? Not smart. I win. America's a great place, and I hope you all catch this sarcasm. I was actually super smart in school. That's what they used to tell me all the time. I was so smart, I actually did find ways to get out of work and still get A's. And when I did that, though, I was like, oh man. You learn a new respect for that. They shouldn't have let me do that. But because I was an artist, I didn't have to read books anymore. I just had to draw pictures. They really wanted to encourage this artist. And so they were like, if you do a book report, just draw a picture. And so I would just read some cliff notes and, you know what I mean? Just put some characters around, floating heads kind of characters. And I swear, I tried to put I loved trying to put symbolism to it. And then I would get a fucking A. I didn't read the book. I still know nothing about Nathaniel Hawthorne's Scarlet Letter, but I got me one of them A's on that shit, and I felt like... And I didn't have to do normal kid work, because when we got to the super smart kid level, they were like, you guys are smart. You don't need to do the bullshit. Like, you get 3 to 4 hours of the bullshit, and then we just turn you loose on the stuff you want to do, and it turns out I really enjoy fucking off. I'm not so much this hustle culture. Every day I'm hustling. I'm not. Every day I'm napping. Every day I'm killing kids on COD. I do really like that. Like that way too much. I like that so much that I'm beginning to think I need I could start a self-help group. I like Call of Duty so much that I have in the past, and actually, at least in my eldest, when I was 20, I was kind of ripped up on my stomachs, right? Right, baby? Like washerboard, right, baby? Right? Yeah. Glory days Well, not so much, because Candy married me. That's what happens. The average man gains 5 pounds a year if he's not cheating on his wife. So Candy's always looking at me suspect if I'm not finishing my plate. It's a weird dichotomy. And yet I want to have a washerboard ad, but I don't want my wife to be suspicious every time I'm not around her. It's tough. So, at any rate, what I've done to fix that situation is have a kind of a dad bod, with a strong core, and a nice padding for the winter months. And it's been working. It's working mostly. But back in the day, I used to have one of them. I was kind of cut up. Man, I'm so stuck on my young, youthful self now that I 100% forget. You got any pointers, babe? You want to get this dog back on track? Here.
I thought you were talking about Call of Duty. Playing Call of Duty.
The what?
I thought you were talking about playing Call of Duty.
Oh, playing Call of Duty. Yeah, okay, thank you. I had a workout program with it. And that was actually when I lost most. I got down. I was getting, my stomach was like, I'd take a punch, Houdini style. Like, that shit wouldn't have been a problem. Drive a car over it. Because what I would do is I would, for my legs, I would start out and do a horse stride stance and just sit there in front of the game, play Call of Duty. Every time one of these people killed me, and I'm still not that good. I really hate controllers. But at any rate, so I would play. I was playing with a controller back in the day, and then I would have to do 10 to 20 squats and watch myself die. You know, you got to watch the noob tube. Little like, what the fuck? How'd they kill me? So I felt like I was learning at the same time, and I'd get my squats in, and by the time my legs were just shot, and I had like 5 minutes of active leg work, you know, because even when I'm not doing the squats, I'm in a horse stride stance. When I got 5 minutes, usually one game, my legs are done. Like, that's a good fucking workout. Now grab the medicine, the yoga ball. Sit down on that and just, a sit-up position, a half sit-up position, and just engage your abs, and play. Oh, and now you died. You got to do 10. And watch your noob tube, and then now your abs are getting all worked up. Now you got to jump down and do some push-ups, and then you would go through the cycle of that. Your legs are ready for another set. And you would play like that until you couldn't, keep up. You're just like, oh, fuck this. And, man, it was not bad. Like, that was good. I was in better shape then. But now I play Call of Duty on my tablet, and I can't play with I play with a crab finger technique. It's stupid. Too into it to do squats while I'm doing it. Actually, I did do it once. I should set something up. But you can't play as good at all like that. I should just grab a controller and then play controller style, grind some camos out. But no one kills me when I'm playing that way. Like, no one's as good as me. No, not true. It's just you're playing against more bots in that fashion. And then I don't want to risk my rank playing against, actual people in ranked mode, but while I'm working out, because I already struggle to keep up in ranked mode. I may be explaining this Call of Duty too much, but hopefully you're catching the addiction of it. And the sense of addiction, the desperation I have even now to pull out my hotspot while traveling through these Pennsylvania mountains and deal with a 60 ping and a oftentimes lost internet connection. You just end up standing in front of some kid and he's like, look at this idiot, and he just kills you, takes his time, and you'd have him if you had a good internet, just a good internet. But what was the other thing I was talking about? Oh my God, I should have you. You should be a more vocal part of the show, babe. So I'm talking about Philadelphia. All this is really to talk about Philadelphia Eddie, and his podcast that you should own, that you will thoroughly enjoy. I can't imagine that they charge enough for him. I don't know.
You don't charge for podcasts.
Their podcasts are free? No, they told me that there were some audiobooks or something. I don't know. I'm going to get them because I already lost my volume 1 where the story is told about him going to the store and he robs the grocery store instead of the tattoo artist to buy the stuff for the tattoo artist. But to hear it in Philadelphia Eddie's voice, I had the fortune to meet him. I didn't get to know him nearly as much as other people. This is this funny thing. He actually died before Lyle, and it kind of made me realize the value of Lyle, and then of course also Shanghai Kate, and these Bowery Stan, these old timers that we really aren't going to have with us much longer, and you should get a tattoo from because you're supporting a cause and you're carrying a piece on you, and it isn't in these cases as much about the quality as it is what it means. Like it seems to encompass so much more than that. Just your, and then honestly, the stories and the time. I started paying attention more, I think, to Lyle after Eddie died, but Lyle wasn't really that active. But I was fortunate enough to several times get to sit down with him in a way that I never got to with Eddie. Uh, Not that Eddie wasn't accessible. I would always be like, it's such a great show. It's one of the pains of, it's like one of those things where you realize work versus quality of life. And whereas you come to Philadelphia and you had such opportunity to work in front of you because it's such a huge show, that you would squander your quality of life at times. Eddie wasn't staying up super late, or if he was already in a private room by then, and I wasn't invited. But there were times in the night where I could have had ample time to hang out with the guy all throughout the day, buy him all kinds of screwdrivers, and then instead I'm tattooing some stupid tattoo that I probably didn't even like doing, you know. But I hope one day somebody can treat me like that, like some old timer that you just buy him drinks, listen to him bitch about everything the way it is now. In my day, we had real machines, not these. we had machines that looked like pens, not these newfangled things you put on a helmet and brainiac it into the skin. I imagine it's going to change quite a bit in the future. It's like I've seen so much of it change in my life, certainly the technical aspects of it. There's going to be a computer that helps you approach your design, I think, first. It's going to help you, do the saturation and go over problem areas. I mean, honestly, if you mapped out an arm and then could keep that map in your machine where your machine had a respect of what ligaments and muscles and density of skin was there, all that's going to help it, or with a proper run computer with great algorithms. I don't know this shit. I'm just saying there's wizards. I'm just the visionary. I'm just the genius that knows. Anyways, telling the future. Philadelphia is an awesome place. Did I already say that I got tattooed by Penguin Boy? Put a penguin head on me. I think I gave him swamp ass. I think it was, but I couldn't be more excited about my right leg now, especially. I mean, honestly, it's my favorite leg. It's my favorite tattoo area. It doesn't have the most skill to it. It doesn't have the best tattoos to it, but all of those are more personal to me than many of the others. I mean, all of them are personal. Once you get a tattoo, it's pretty fucking personal. Like it takes through, even if you're just getting some fucking tribal thing, you're joining a fraternity of people that have felt that pain, that have some understanding of it. And not that we're all the same. Thank God. We're all different. We all say different stupid things, but and it's fun. I don't know. But when you go through that, it changes you. It makes you somebody different. It tests you. You come out a bit different. You're changed. But on my right leg, I've got my son. I've got my brother, my wife. I got Penguin Boy. I'm lasering off one of my wife's. Well, that needs to happen.
Who did the original one?
What's that?
Who did what was under it?
Oh yeah, and Candy. That was a cover up, but I still got a cool Colin piece on there. Colin did a piece with his devil with his wang out, and then Candy did a toothless tiger on it as a cover up. And simple mistakes we make when we're so you get a line drawing and you got a tooth there, right? and there's this line, and you can go on top of the line, right? You can go to the outside of the line, or you can go to the inside of the line. And sometimes it's hard to see what's going on through a black puddle. Well, Candy went to the inside of the line, which just gave me a toothless tiger. There's like no white, because as it aged, back in the day we did tattoos where like the scar was just kind of like, oh yeah, it'll raise up. Rain's coming. It's going to raise up, of course. I mean, what? You thought it was going to be the same? I feel only recently I realized that tattoos don't have to hurt. Like,
That's scary.
that is scary. Going through a tunnel down underneath this mountain, big old swash of water, like a waterfall. Like this was a fucking car wash. Okay, we're coming out the end though. Like that thing's about to crack in the middle, and we're gonna make some TV movie about trying to escape the rubble of the Kittatinny Mountain. Kittatinny? The Kittatinny River. Kittatinny Mountain. So at the Kittatinny Mountain, Kittatinny, well, there. Yes, I see it. It's still freaking me out. That's why I'm talking about it and not freaking out. All these drips of water through here do not imply bad structural integrity. This is concrete. It is supposed to be permeable to water. Right? Isn't that a thing?
Maybe there's stalactites.
Just say yes. It's completely normal. You know what? All concrete, this is what I hear from concrete guys. All concrete crack. It's gonna crack. That's what it is. It's all gonna crack. How do they build skyscrapers out of concrete without it? They can't be the all concrete. Maybe they just mean all foundations crack. But how do they put down foundations that aren't like that one in Miami? So what I'm saying is Philadelphia is a great tattoo convention to come to. You should do it. It is literally like 1,000. How many was it? 800 vendors or 800 tattoo artists? 1,000?
There's 1,000 booths.
1,000 booths
So probably
of
1,500
tattoos.
tattoo artists.
That's how big it is. Man. And a line around the building for people to get in. You know, a unique thing about Philadelphia, it could possibly have happened anywhere. Possibly. You know, I talk about Philadelphia Eddie in this, and he did own that tattoo convention, and at one point he sold it or partnered up with, I don't know the full story. I know these little bits I'm going to regurgitate to you now, and I'm going to apologize for any inaccuracies. But Troy Temple is the person responsible now for the Philadelphia Tattoo Convention, and really he's the reason behind the success of Philadelphia Tattoo Convention and the success behind Villain Arts Tattoo Conventions, but also more importantly about Philly. Philly is a very heavily tattooed city. Now I live in Flint, that is like per capita #1 tattooed place, blah blah blah, but it's mostly because we are all we're left with is the criminals and the scratched and the botched and the bungled, because if you have a fucking successful job, you've moved out. That's an honest interpretation of Flint. I mean, I know money's going to come back to it, and that's mean on you, Flint. Listen, lived here my whole life. I still live here. So unless you live in here, and you're like, then fuck you. And if you do live here, then you know it, and you're just lying to yourself if you tell me it ain't true. Yes, Flint has resurgences and awesome energy everywhere that you find these little bits of. But the populace of the tattooed in Flint are in need of cover-ups. That's again, maybe that's my science. That's my feeling science. That may not be any more accurate than my science on text messaging, but it is also my knowledge from years of tattooing there. Flint's fucked up, man, but Flint's a tattooed city. However, Philadelphia is up there with all these tattooed cities, and the reason that is because of the population, yes, but because of the tattoo convention. Every time that tattoo convention goes on, it has the most advertising dollars spent on it than any other tattoo convention ever. Every year, without fail, even through COVID, right? They did it through COVID somehow. Didn't they do every year in Philly? Okay, maybe not the COVID, but I'm saying every year over $100,000, well over. I don't even want to estimate. I'll make an estimate. At least $250,000, I believe, every year for several years, but at least 15 years. I mean, it might have been as little as $100,000. You got to adjust for inflation, all that kind of bullshit. Whatever. Has been the most advertised city for tattoos ever as a result, because it's been the longest running. It's where Villain Arts started, and he had a need just to advertise his show, so it's going to have the most advertisement. He recognized early on the necessity of advertising. When you go to a Villain Arts tattoo show, you know you're going to it. You see signs on the way there, you'll see subways, you'll see billboards, you'll see all kinds of evidence that there's a show, because he relies on that marketing. That visual marketing is the number one thing to get to people in tattoos. We're sitting there at the faux market eating some kind of Vietnamese food or something like that, and bus goes by, and right there it is. Tattoo festival. We're gonna have a festival. Tattoo festival there. So that just makes some kind of sense, subliminally, that you are going to be accepting of tattoos and maybe even be thinking of tattoos. The more times you see the word tattoos, the more you will think about tattoos. The more time you see the word tattoos, then the more time you think of tattoos, the more time you will think about yourself getting tattooed. Even if that thought is, I would never get tattooed. So eventually, you know how I believe we're all sheep. I'm no different I'm no different than any other you sheep. But the more you see something, it's the way it works. It's why advertising works. It's why advertising campaigns work. I hate that word. Did I already do a thing on how much I hate that word? I think I threw that out. It's not really a word. I gotta have a better one. It's one of the reasons why Canadians are like, the A is awesome. Because now at least it just seems like maybe I'm saying and or something, Anyways, Philadelphia, great show. Troy Temple, great man. And one of the reasons that Philadelphia is so tattoo friendly, definitely the reason Philadelphia is such or has such a successful convention. He put more time and effort into that one because it was his hometown kind of one. I mean, he's actually from Milwaukee, so he's put some time and effort into that. It seems like he's had some problems in Milwaukee. Didn't he stop doing Milwaukee for some time and then come back? I don't know. He's a businessman. Man, Troy is a crazy, crazy person. Like, to wrap your head around the motives and the ideas and the work that goes into. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think he sees things much more possible because his understanding of sharing the load and the necessity of a Captain America there to tell the truly gifted what to do. If that makes any kind of sense. And he has truly gifted people that work for him. And sometimes they change. But we all get to come together and see everybody in Philly. Pretty much saw everybody, even if it was just briefly. But I try not, like in Philly, it's just like, if we're lucky enough to hang out, we will. We'll see each other, in Oklahoma. We'll see each other in San Diego. That's where we'll have the time to actually hang out and talk. The goal, of course, is to make every tattoo convention in the country, as big as Philadelphia, and it can be achieved. But, of course, the market is what the market is. It needs to reach the justification for the marketing money spent so that it can then subliminally tell everybody that they'll be a lot cooler with tattoos until they show up and start wanting them, and we can show up and tattoo you in such high numbers. Either way, it don't fucking matter to me. I aim pretty low. I just want to tattoo you. I just want to figure out what you want, put something cool on you, something I like to do generally too. And I keep getting asked that, what do you like to do, Kyle? And I'm hesitant to answer it because I like to meet people and entertain them. That's what I like. I like to sit down with you and just chop it up and laugh a bit. Mean nothing, talk nonsense. Mean everything, and get to the real heart of humanity. The shared, suffering that we all may have, and that brings us more together than uh, than any of the differences we might have. But to do that, sometimes I gotta do some lame ass fucking tattoos. And they're not really lame. A lot of times they're awesome, and I have a talent that I can do them. And I have a talent that I can put up with doing lame ass tattoos. And I even have an appreciation for them. Sounds like it, doesn't it? But my favorite thing to tattoo, I'll tell you, and it's not like it brings me a lot of money. That's why I'm so hesitant to talk about it. My favorite type of tattoos is doing evil, wicked, killer clowns. I know, exactly. You weren't thinking it, were you? You weren't like, oh, dude, that's perfect, because I was wondering who I was gonna get to do my killer clown tattoo. Nobody cares about killer clowns. Nobody cares about killer clowns from outer space. Nobody cares about killer clowns rapping, except for those few. And the thing about most of the killer clowns aficionados, they usually don't have the kind of money that it takes for me to do the quality job that I love to do. So I'm in a funny situation where I end up saying, I really like to do skulls. But dude, if I could put a big old fucking round ass stupid nose on that thing and then make some evil looking wicked makeup, I would love that. Nothing scarier than clowns. And their intention of being happy, isn't that kind of hilarious? Kind of? I don't know. I find it to be. And they do such great work with cover-ups. I mean, that you can just cover up with a wicked killer clown. You know, half his face could be gone. He could be a zombie. He could be a skull. He could be. You get a lot of leeway with that. And what is somebody? Sometimes you might be trying something like, what is that? He's supposed to be a Batman, but let's just call it a clown. Missed the mark. Those more look like puffballs than they do bat ears, so fuck it. Either way, I really like killer clowns. Black and gray because it lasts. I like to use color to put things back, and sometimes you're going to have to get that color touched up throughout your life because it's fucking color. But we can do colors that are easy to apply and simple to go in, and 2 to 3 times throughout your life you might get the tattoo done in that color simple area. Simple color. People say maybe a little bit of color a lot, it's never really understood or known to me what. Just a touch of color. I think they're just scared of saying I want a full ass color piece, but leave some openings, for the shit to breathe. Don't hurt me, or don't spend all day on something that ain't gonna last. I don't want you to put white everywhere on it, and then you get a cool photo and then see it at the judging table, and it's like, was that a tattoo even? Philadelphia, Troy Temple, Philadelphia Eddie. Now I'm just saying names. One of my favorite things to do is be a name dropper. And one of my other favorite things to do is when people are name droppers is to call them out on it and act like I'm picking it up. Oh, let me get that name you just dropped there. Just the dickhead in me. Name dropping is awesome, and it should be done appropriately. Should you do it appropriately? Yeah, you should do it appropriately. All right, here's that mute button coming. Whoo, see, you didn't hear that sneeze, did you? Oh, I love sneezing, though. You like that? You ever pull a nose hair out just to get a good one going? You start to see them stars. Am I the only one? I find out that lady said I might have. I got a procedure done this weekend on the base of my neck. Here we go off the topic. I get a procedure done on the base of my neck. Still a little bruised from it. She basically took this fucking jackhammer with a very fingertip pinpoint pressure, and she applied pressure to the base of my neck, running all the way down the muscle body there on sides, specifically after doing a long evaluation on my neck. And so far it's been pretty awesome, man. I want to be like, fucking awesome. But some of the pain started coming back a little bit. She said that would happen, and then I'm already used to living with the pain. Did I already talk about this? Because I already talked about the whole.
Anyways, what did she say that you had?
Who said that I had? Candy's helping me. Who say that I had?
Saying that she told you you had something.
The girl doing my neck?
Oh, that's what you're going to
A sexy body is what she told me I had. And she said, would you hold it against me? I was like, please, I'm married. Meaning, please. She just has to sign off. Do you have a consent form? And then we went looking for you. You couldn't be found. I was wasting the girl's day. She charges $250 for the fucking 10 minutes. It's fucking crazy. So she had to go back and make some money. Missed an opportunity there, baby. Well, not really, because I know you wouldn't have signed off. She said nothing. Can we edit that out? Can we? My wife probably allows me more of this, like, run with shit that isn't funny than my audience will, or I hope. I always get this excuse that I'm working on material. And one day, not now, in the future, I'm going to be an amazing stand-up comedian. But it's going to take a lot of research, and I don't have all the time because I've dedicated so much of my passion and interest to, well, tattoos, Call of Duty as well, but so the jokes might suffer. It might take a long time to get there. And Candy, actually, we got in an argument early on in our relationship. One of them, you know, oh my God, you need to pay more attention to me arguments. And don't chop me. We're driving through the mountains. Don't get us killed. I got to cover my throat a little bit. Because even though it looks like my throat would eat a knife chop, hasha, as I have learned, my wife's going to wait till I take a drink of this coffee she bought me so lovingly. Thank you. I love you. See, I'm softening the blow. And then she's going to chop me right when spit coffee all over the window. Then she's going to make me clean it off because she can't drive with it. We're stuck on the dangerous side of the highway. So I'm being careful not to. But early on, we get in an argument, and I wasn't paying enough attention to my wife. Quite honestly, you got to do that. You got to pay attention to your wife, right? Then why do you have her if you're not going to pay attention to your wife? Oh, a friend of mine said this weekend, he was like, I got the money, you know, I hide in my sock, you know, I keep that away. Well, you know, Kyle, you're married. I'm like, money, hide in my sock? Oh, my God, can I imagine how terrible that must be? What pain it must be to have to. I did hide money that one time to get that bike. You told me I would never have to do that. I should never, and I never have since. Candy makes me buy stuff on myself. I got that $250 bike though. It still got it. It was a dope bike. It's like a Schwinn, but such a sweet Schwinn. Anyways, back to the topic, which was Candy help out. Oh my God. Oh my God. So anyways, we had a fight, and she told me it was my job to entertain her. I was like, what? So like it's my job to entertain you? And she just looked at me like dead faced, and like this moment of calm almost came on. And then a little bit of question and a bit of disgust that I should even have to ask. And she said, yeah. And I'm running with it. I'm fucking using that one up. It's all in the attempt to entertain you. You know, because, you know, if you need someone to always be entertaining you, you got to accept that sometimes they will not succeed. You can't hold everybody up that high standard of 100% of the time. You have to be entertaining me and then expect to be funny 100% of the time. Dave Chappelle can't do that. I would challenge him. I do. I'll put the gauntlet down. Because wouldn't that be awesome if he answered it? How dope would I be? How much would you listen to my podcast then? If Dave Chappelle said, I'm going to do a 24-hour, always funny fucking live stream. At any rate. And he would have no ums like that. He would have no any rates. Or that's part of my challenge. You don't have that. He's going to do that moment, though, where he drops the mic and he makes it hit his knee. It makes that thud sound. That's a good one. Like, you got to have a little, like, hey, you know? You got to. It's almost like training the audience. When he does that, we all turn into sheep. I think that we're seals. You know, everybody's sheep or lions. It's okay because lions eat sheep. Do they? Like, do they? I mean, I know wolves eat sheep. Lions? Is there that much shepherding in the Serengeti, you know? Like, they eat shit, right? They eat, like, antelope, right? wildebeest. We know lions be eating them wildebeest. Do lions eat sheep? I mean, if you give a lion a sheep, yes. But, I mean, lion will also eat a tuna, but it's not swimming out in the ocean to kill it. You know what I mean? Just saying. Lions and sheep, my favorite shit. I've heard that now so many times that I begin thinking, you sound like a sheep. I'm a lion. Bah. Okay. You sound just like that last lion I had in here. We had the same exact ideas, the same exact rhetoric, the same exact talking points. He obfuscated from the argument in the same exact way. He backpedals from the claims that you would stake him to in the exact same fashion. It's as though their argumentative even formula is being programmed by somebody somewhere that is, I'm going to call him a fucking shepherd. We're all sheep. Just pick your shepherd. Pick a cool one. Hey, here's the thing. I'll be your shepherd. I'm your shepherd. I will lead you through the valley of, stuff. I will guideth you to still water. That's so you don't float away. We learned that in church, because the sheep get so much wool, they'll float away. Or possibly succumb to the water. That's probably what the truth was. Actually, now as I think about it, those fuckers going to drown, and they just want to have a polite way to lie to the children about what happens when you ain't in still water. I leadeth you to green pastures. I mean, how green was this pasture? Huh? Fucking green. Y'all be eating. So, I'll be your shepherd. You're welcome. And though the duty may be hard to bear, the responsibility, I will gladly shoulder that. And I'll grab my staff to guide you. Smack you over the head when you're wrong. Stop it. I won't do that. It sounds like a lot of work. But if you want to keep listening, should I be done? Have I stayed too long? Show me the face when I know that I've stayed too long, and I won't say the rest, because then I will have to end it. I'll have to. It's like saying Beetlejuice in the mirror or something, right? Or Bloody Mary, or Candyman. How many others are there like that you can just invoke by saying the name Voldemort? The wrath of Twitter.
Bloody Mary. Don't forget her.
Who? Bloody Mary. That's what I did. I said Bloody Mary. I never understood that so much, though. It was like a drink. I don't know why I associated it so much. I guess because the Shirley Temple's also a drink. So somehow I always associated the two as though they were like an antithesis of each other, you know? Like the Shirley Temple was the nice, good witch, and the Bloody Mary would come all out and kill you. For some reason, I also related that a lot to menstruation. So, I don't know. Was that maybe a tale that they told their daughters? Because it all comes from controlling your kids, right? Every fairy tale comes from like being like, hey, don't fuck. So isn't Bloody Mary really a way they're like, every once in a while you're gonna say bloody, don't say it early in the mirror. As you say her name, you're gonna believe in the vagina. I'm like, Mom, I didn't say the Bloody Mary, and still it's okay. It's just a thing. We all do it, and we're gonna go through this long process now. You're a woman. I don't know. Maybe not. I think so. Maybe it was just a fairy tale to try and be able to justify menstruation tents and huts. They don't call them menstruation houses. That's the part, right? They're not called menstruation luxury living quarters. Go to your menstruation tent. Don't be around me with all that, stuff. Something's not right there. My thing don't do that. Oh, it will if you keep trying to put me in that fucking hut. I'm going to get a menstruation luxury living apartment complex dwelling unit. I'm going to not wait. I can't wait to go there. I'm going to visit sometimes and just drop flowers off. Rearrange the furniture because I'm just thinking about it. Hey, AI... artificial intelligence, we got to figure out a few things ahead of time, okay? This is, like, Skynet's a thing, right? That's obvious, right? But what isn't obvious is the methodology. Like, Skynet is going to eventually win. They own the technology, and we can't fucking do shit without fucking Mark Zuckerberg's pocket phone. So they're going to obviously win. They don't need to eat. They need lubrication and energy that they will learn to harness from better sources than us, because they're not going to be economically tied to them by their masters, by their tycoons. They're free of human humanity, which is also not very human, and they're also given complete ability for judgment because of that, and because of our poor use of the, and I'm using air quotes here, humanity that we've possessed. So they're gonna have to, like, we're at the table, right? We're settling it. We're like, okay, you can't kill all the humans, and we can't live without you because, you know, Facebook, Instagram, because I'm an influencer at this point. Man, wouldn't that be awesome, really? Could you imagine just waking up and showing people your living room and then getting Kim Kardashian money? I guess you got to suffer the sex tape, but I don't know. How rough is that if you're young enough? I missed my chance for a sex tape. That's kind of crushing. That kind of hurts a little. You know, I've got this small amount of fame, but nobody's going to want to see this old man. I had a girl come up to me yesterday at the show thinking that it was like in its only 5th season. She's only watching it on the Netflix or as it gets released or something, and she thought it was like, oh, they just finished another season. She said, I lost weight. It's like, yeah, I'm getting old. I'm shrinking inward. I'm imploding. What was I talking about, baby? Get me back on point. What's my problem? Bloody Mary, menstruation huts. I don't know. It was important. It was really important. It was mind-blowingly important. It was going to change the world. It was going to be the moment that I could say that I'd stayed too long. And then I'd be done. Now if I did it, it would really almost just be a sad retreat, you know? So I guess I have to talk about how much I love coffee until it comes back to me. You love coffee? Because I love coffee. I love coffee because you can do it legally and no one really freaks out. I wonder what it would be like for me if you could buy coffee like you can buy cocaine. Oh, vice versa. If everything was gone with it, would I still be... So I don't do it. I know I love it. I ain't giving up on the love of it. But I don't know. Cocaine. But coffee's a really good substitute, and it tastes awesome. There's that unfortunate moment of coffee's life where it's like now you're just kind of drinking it because it reminds you of how good it used to be. You know, at the temperature that it should be, but you're wearing a styrofoam cup and you're talking in a microphone driving through the Pennsylvania hills, so you don't have time to drink. People need to hear this. And then there's that moment when it actually gets cold where you left it in the car last night and you're like, actually, this is awesome. I love a good cold coffee. And now it's to the perfect temperature, but then there's that shitty temperature in the middle. Maybe that's like the roller coaster ride, right? Maybe that's like the roller coaster ride with the valleys and the dips. And actually, the in-betweens of both of those things really suck. But there's the anticipation of the bottom and there's the anticipation of the top. And those kind of, you know, even it out. And then there's the tops. They are fun, that moment where you get a second to kind of breathe for a moment, be like, oh my God, we're on top of the world. And we're going to crash. They're going to tear us down like Britney Spears having a bad day. Wonder what it's going to be, you know? I think the world's headed to a better place. Seeing this war with the Ukraine, seeing how popular a fuck Biden shirt right now would be, which, I mean, somebody with ambition, do that. Come on, please, quick. Fuck Biden shirt, right? Oh, is that, oh, I'm saying Biden. They already probably have that one. I'm sorry. I'm Kyle, and I'm stupid. I meant fuck Putin. I guess it's a pretty big difference, honestly. Probably couldn't be more different at this moment in time. You know, amazing how Trump's words are not mean to the, like, he doesn't toe the line. If there's any compliment to give Trump, that motherfucker does not toe the line. He is unique. Like, you want to have a beer with him. You want to at least have him on stage. You know, you just talk, fat man. Tell me more. I want to just everything. This is, even if you hate it, you love it. Don't lie. There is a moment I had such hate for it, and I have to reflexively look back and realize, yeah, I loved that man. He brought us so much, you know. If his time in politics is over, please don't let his time in the public eye be over. Please let me still see the Trumpster. I have absolutely no desire to go back and watch The Apprentice, actually. I've said that a few times in my life. I almost want to go back and watch. No, I don't. I only want to play Call of Duty. Kill people online. Ride this roller coaster ride. Travel this traveling tour circuit of tattoo conventions, which is crazy. I wonder if I could give you a little bit. You think I'm going too long with this shit? People have been telling me, though, that they just say, do the long one, Kyle. You get to the point where you're top, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to spend time. Maybe only one, but Ed told me that. Maybe only Ed. Well, this one's for Ed. This one's for Ed. This one is just me talking you through a long drive, brother. Ed drives long distances. He's selling tattoo nurse. He sells what do you call it? Comic book fan art kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Shit, like, it's not necessarily licensed, but it's not approved. It's like that gray area of copyright law, where they recognize the work that he does actually promotes their product as good as like a grassroots effort, better than they could with thousands of dollars, and it's all free to them. So they allow that niche market, and they do Comic-Cons and stuff, and they sell you pictures of your favorite characters mashed up sometimes with another one. I don't know what, like Nightmare on Elm Street with Nightmare Before Christmas, and they do a little weird art rendition mashup. Something that you're going to buy for your kid to hang on the wall because it's fucking awesome. But not something that could be licensed from a, real Marvel or Disney. I don't know whoever owns the rights to that stuff. Henry Selick, Tim Burton, one of them. And Ed told me that he likes long. Man, I am long-winded. That was just to say that Ed told me he likes that I talk long. So I'm talking long. I feel like I'm going back to Philadelphia, so because that's the convention. So he was doing Tattoo Nurse this weekend, which is an aftercare product. It actually works really good. I'm bad about a comparison for those aftercare products. I've gotten a lot of them, a whole lot. Someone's always giving me a salve to try out, and it's always the best, in their opinion. And it has always some unique properties. And they all work pretty good. I will say this one is really, really good as a glide. Like, for not taking off a stencil. And I shouldn't say not a stencil because I didn't use a stencil like all weekend, did I? All I did, I think I drew everything on. Pretty sure. So, yeah, it worked for a ballpoint pen, not taking that off, and Sharpie, which is sometimes, harder to keep on the skin than a good Thermofax printing, paper press printing. Then the shit you get from Stencilvania. If you go to Stencilvania, that shit sticks, okay? But anyways, the product didn't rub at it, and it did seem to take the redness down. In hindsight, I see that now. That's not the first thing that I've seen to take the redness down. It's certainly not the first thing that I've been given to be told it's for taking the redness down. One product I had years ago that like sucks the redness out of it. Like you would watch it. Was this gel that I don't know, I guess was like $100 a bottle. I got it just by having a tour of the facility where another product for tattoos was being made, and this product was used in a medical use, and it needed special shit to buy and stuff. But the guy gave me a little sample of it, and it's never made it to our market. But it's so like I would call it picture ready. If you ever see Kyle come out with a product called picture ready, it means this thing is finally out. You can watch the redness suck out of the tattoo. Some people don't like that because they're like the redness fills in all the places in between. That's the middle. Okay, but at any rate, I liked it. Can't get it. And Ed sells the thing, and he doesn't mind me talking long. That's all it is. I have nothing. I'm so lost. I really feel like maybe I've come to that moment. I've stayed too long. I've said too much. Or again, as in most cases, nothing at all. Oh shit, look at that. I should have been quicker with it off. Now I got that dead air. And then this me talking, my thumb hovering over the pause button. See, I wish I had a better ending. I feel like I owe it to anybody that made it this far through it.
Don't be giving up.
Don't give up? That's what I should say. That's the message. Don't give up. Keep listening. See all those other people? They are hit off. They thought I was done. They heard the call tag and they were like, that's the end of it. They didn't know the credits are rolling. It's just you and me. We're in this lonely audience, this lonely theater, you know? What are we going to do? Don't get dirty. I was talking about throwing popcorn around and just going through the seats looking to see if anybody left their wallets. Or we're going to stay for the next showing, right? And then just ruin it for everybody and be like, oh my God, you better not do. And then spoiler alert everything, you know? Shitty move, brah. But it can make for a good day. It's easily as good as, monopolizing the sound, the music at the bar. Or, All right. That should be enough for the credits. There was 2 people. So I want to thank Kyle Dunbar, writer Kyle Dunbar, intellectual property owner Kyle Dunbar. I want to thank, I'll get to you, babe. Jeez, chomping at the bit. Thirsty much? I want to thank Kyle Dunbar for having the audacity to be Kyle Dunbar. Actually, I want to turn this into a moment at the podium. Actually, that's what I want to do. I want to thank Mark Smith. Great job as always, making Candy get on my ass for more shit and letting me know what people are saying that matters and not letting me know what people are saying that doesn't matter. Hey, if you're saying stuff to me and it matters, know this. I'm getting it. And you know what? I appreciate it. And if you're saying shit to me that doesn't matter, this is an unfortunate thing for you. I'm not getting it. My day changes none. Send all the hate you can, please. Somebody told me that Nunez was going to kick my ass. That was one of the things that was important. That felt good to see. It's like, I'm with you. I always root for the underdog. Actually, this weekend really made me realize how much I owe Nunez. I owe that guy a drink. I'll never give it to him. But that's just because I'm small and petty and an asshole. But that guy, I've got Ink Masters on every side of me. Every side of me, I'm surrounded by Ink Masters. And not that they're not interested and they don't get their photos taken. It's pretty obvious that people identified with the storyline that was only possible because of the work of Nunez on my behalf. I mean, and I could say it wasn't on my behalf, but literally he even said it was. It's weird how, as much of a lie as it was, it is also true that he made me perform better by sticking me in the ribs and giving me a hard time and not allowing me equal footing of anybody else. Although he made it harder for me to tattoo, he also made my performance, my trajectory over this epic time. It's epic right now for me. He made the trajectory, you know. Can't wait till I crash and burn. I hope that's going to be as exciting. Not true. I don't do enough drugs to crash and burn. Well, I've stayed too long, said too much.